What is up, Beyond the Gates fans? Here with my Sunday preview for this upcoming week of March 9th for the show. And then, as usual, I will go over some of your comments from this past week of episodes. You know, a lot of your comments over the past week, a lot of you in the comments saying you need to take a break from the show until storylines start to move. And I can't blame you for that. There does seem to be some things possibly happening in this upcoming preview at least. So I am hopeful that this upcoming week will be better than the last two. But let's get into some of the video preview that they gave us at the end of the week. We see in the preview that we will finally meet Deanna, who is Vanessa and Doug's daughter. We've had Donnell for months now, off and on, but this is our first time seeing her. We've heard a lot about her. They finally decided to cast her. And in their preview, Vanessa and Joey are there. Joey is introducing himself to Deanna, and she won't even look at him, which is the energy this storyline needs. We then see Deanna giving it to her mother, talking about what kind of man drops all this money on your dead husband unless he is getting something in return. And she says that clearly Vanessa is serving it up. So Vanessa's daughter might be what this storyline has needed, because somebody needs to be on Vanessa's ass. But here's my issue. Because when Donnell first came to town, it did seem like he had a problem with the whole Vanessa and Joey thing. But that only lasted like a few episodes. That can't be the case here. Because and I had a big old rant, I think, on Thursday about the Vanessa character and how that character is the worst character on the show. Because there is no payoff with the whole Vanessa, Doug, and Joey storyline that we watched for months and months, because Vanessa is so unlikable that there can't be a payoff now. So the only payoff that I guess can come from this is if Deanna is, I guess, feuding with her mom for a long time. But also, there cannot come a point where Deanna gives in and starts liking Joey too, because then it's just a rinse and repeat of the Donnell thing. And so that's just going to further show us how much the Vanessa character sucks and how much the storyline with Vanessa and Joey sucks. So while I am excited that they finally cast this character and that she is going to be giving hell to her mother, I am apprehensive to see where the writing actually goes with it, because the history with this storyline in particular is not good. They have really shit the bed with the Vanessa character in general. And so I hope that they don't do the same with Deanna that they did with Donnell. Although it is typical of this show to make the woman be the smarter character holding a grudge than, Donnell being the one to do that. You would think that Donnell would have been closer to his father, but maybe Deanna was a father's girl. Who knows? Also in the preview, we see Chenise and Ted flirting it up while she is sitting on his lap. And I'm still okay with this relationship. Compared to a lot of the relationships on this show, I do feel as though in recent months they have tried to give small little obstacles to Ted and Shanice, which I think soap opera couples need to stay relevant. But like a lot of people in the comments like to say, Shanice deserves better than Ted. And Ted still is a goon, so I don't really know how this is going to continue to play out. They don't really have a big story as a couple outside of Leslie trying to be the one to break them up, though. So I feel like they could stop working for me, but for right now, they are still mostly working for me. In the preview, we see Grayson getting a call from Jacob that they need to talk, because obviously On Friday's episode, they saw each other on the drop-off for the blood plasma while Jacob was undercover. Jacob is telling Grayson to not say a single word about what he saw until they do get to speak to one another. Grayson could blow Jacob's entire undercover operation because he does know that Jacob is a cop, I would assume, with the one time he and Ashley hung out with Jacob and Naomi. So I'm just glad that this Impaler storyline is moving and we can see if this puts Jacob in danger potentially this week or the week after, because, Jacob's undercover work hasn't been the best, but I guess that was to be expected with Jacob. In the preview, we see Danny praising Nicole for having two sexy men battling it out over her. Of course, Danny would be saying that, well, Nicole will probably act coy as if she's not enjoying all the attention when she clearly is, but she seems to only like to talk about that with Vanessa and not her sister. I don't really think this part of the preview does much for me, although as flat as most of this past week was for the show, one thing they have made better is to make me care a little bit more about the triangle with Nicole, Carlton, and Kyle. I will say that at least. The last thing in the preview is Bill asking Joey if there is something about Sammy and Hayley he should know. I don't think Joey is going to rat out Randy and Hayley yet, but Joey has been saying that if this whole thing between Randy and Hayley starts to bring mess to his door, then he's going to do something about it. We have seen in these past few episodes where Joey, Randy, and Hayley have been on the same episode that Joey is starting to play mind games with them. And I do think that Randy is affected by those mind games. I don't know if Hayley is affected yet. But if Bill is starting to find out more and more about this Hayley and Sammy stuff, I mean, whenever Bill finds out that Sammy's not his real name, maybe shit will start to hit the fan. They will continue to take their sweet, precious time with this storyline because it's one of the only good storylines that they have going. So I don't expect this big revelation from Bill finding out the truth about Randy and Hayley this week in the preview. I think Joey will still have Randy's back about it for now, but I don't think Joey's going to be very happy about this. So I am excited to see what Joey does with Bill questioning the whole situation. So that is our preview for the upcoming week. There is more happening than this past week, so I'm hoping for a good week, but we will see. Let's move on to some of your comments over the past week. Barbara Gregg said, nice to see Hayley squirm in that casino. Joey seems ready to pounce on his prey. Yeah, Joey is onto a lot of what's going on with the Joey and Randy's, with the Hayley and Randy stuff. So I guess it's only a matter of time until Joey finds more information. And then maybe Bill will find more information. I guess to me with this whole storyline, I do want to see like what the show decides to move faster. Hayley poisoning Bill, or I guess just trying to kill Bill, or, Hayley's whole backstory unraveling and all of her lies coming out. Will they time it to try and happen at the same time? I don't know. You don't know with the storyline because it has been moving slow lately. Lydia Duncan said, now that Tomas has made Junior partner, I don't think he's eager to commit to Kat anymore. I still think he wants Eva. Maybe. Who knows with Tomas? I wish that Tomas wanted to move out of Fairmont Crest. That's what I want for the character, but I guess I can't be so lucky. Lisa LK4084 said, I'm sure I'm all alone in this thought, but Kat's character is so tiring. Her spoiled brat antics are too much. She is so sassy, classy on the outside, and whining, angry child on the inside. Ugh. No, you don't got to tell me about Kat. Kat gets on my nerves with her whole sassy, uppity self. I've been saying that since forever. I know at one point there was a lot of people in a cat fandom out there. They don't seem as loud as they used to be because the show has definitely gone out of their way to show us that Cat is a spoiled brat at the end of the day. Spa Girl 1 says, I have a feeling that Carlton is a low-key narcissist and has anger issues. I could be wrong, but I keep thinking if Nicole goes on lockdown to him, he will not treat her well. Does anyone else see this in Carlton, or is it just me? No, they're clearly like building Carlton up to have anger issues at the very least. And I can definitely see him wanting to be controlling with Nicole at some point. I think the story should maybe go there, only because I don't want him to be like a stalker, because we've already seen that with the whole Chelsea thing. So he can't go off the deep end before they get together. I think they will maybe have to get closer in a relationship for him to, his real character to come out maybe. Marty B1 said, I think the guys getting together was the best part of this episode. Andre is turning into the voice of reason for everyone. I'm liking that everyone is starting to say no to Leslie's demands. I was hoping Nicole would have thrown her drink in Leslie's face today, but maybe it'll happen soon. I liked the guys getting together to play basketball. Like I said, we don't get enough bro time with the male characters on this show. And yeah, Andre is the voice of reason for everybody. Marty B also said, I think they need to give Eva some new friends so she doesn't have to just talk to her crazy mother all the time. If Hayley convinces Bill to take over Lynette's case, maybe she'll catch Lynette coming onto him, which will give her a taste of her own medicine. Yes, from jump, since the whole Eva and Leslie reveal happened last spring, I've been saying Eva needs friends on this show. And they still haven't given her friends on this show. And I really don't understand why. And yes, I am definitely in team Lynette needs to seduce Bill and give Hayley a taste of her own medicine. But you know me, I just want to see more Lynette in general. But I also just want her to be a more like a bigger character would be nice. Vern Luxon said, please do something with Leslie's character. The only thing she does is go around annoying everyone. It's getting boring. I don't know what they're doing with Leslie. Like, they have totally, like, literally lost the plot because they don't have a plot for her. They just have been sending her around, annoying everyone for 2 weeks now, and it's not working well at all. Leslie needs a real purpose, and the free clinic is not a real purpose for her as a character. Like, it does nothing for her character, and right now her character is so one note that she's getting down there with the Tomases and the Ashleys for me in terms of characters on this show, unfortunately. Miss Teresa said, I think the chief of staff and the lab tech have something going on. They are up to no good. Yeah, clearly as this week played out, Grayson and the chief of staff are both probably involved with, well, clearly Grayson is, but they are involved with this whole plasma ring thing. Christine Wright said, I'm starting to believe that Grayson does not have a sick mother. He and the chief of staff may be a part of the plasma ring. Yes, 100%. Although I do think Grayson maybe does have a sick mother, and that's why he's actually a part of this plasma ring to maybe get extra money to try and help her with her Parkinson's. I think that's what she has. So I think in the long run, Grayson will be redeemed probably, which does not make me excited because then it just means more Grayson and Ashley. Jay Way says, Carlton is the winner in the Nicole Kyle tryst. He just doesn't know it yet. To continually chase someone who doesn't prioritize you is to sabotage your own self-worth. When one of the mice stopped allowing Nikki Cat to have her way, she started crying to Vanessa. You know, Jay Way, you're not wrong here. I think it would be impossible for me to try and get with someone who was clearly dating someone else at the same time and just sleeping with someone else at the same time. I mean, I've never been a casual dater, so, but yeah, Carlton could be the winner in this situation if he stops chasing Nicole. But the last time we saw Carlton, he stopped for like a week or two, but I think he's going to start chasing Nicole again. And so while he was the winner for the time being, I think in the long run he's going to be the loser in this situation, unfortunately for Carlton. Curtis N7X said, this soap and this stop and start routine that a lot of people have for watching the show should be taken as a very, very clear sign of things. Yeah, I mean, I wish the writers would up their writing game and just give us some better stories in general. Because there was a lot of you in the comments over the past week saying you're going to take a break from the show. Although I will say I did see, I don't know which week it was, but a couple weeks ago, the ratings, the demo for the show has been good lately. Since the start of the new year, the ratings demo has been good for the show, which is a big deal and I think could get the show renewed if it stays that way a few more months. B. Low DD said, pretty sure the chief of staff only agreed to partner with the free clinic because she's going to use it as another vehicle for the plasma smuggling. Yeah, I do believe that is the case. Phoenix said, I think the clinic will be used for the plasma ring since it's in the poor neighborhood. I can definitely see that being tied in. Maybe that's why this whole free clinic hoopla has been such a big deal for months now, even though it's felt like a totally non-story. Maybe they will tie it to the plasma storyline. Linda Thornton cracked me up with this comment saying, the free clinic storyline is moving fast. Where is Peaches? Is she down in the basement? They really have just dropped the whole Peaches being sick thing and Leslie just being so distraught that her mother's dying. Because it's been featured like one time in the past several weeks, if not 2 months, I feel like. So an odd choice. Maybe we're just supposed to believe that she's on that clinical trial and it's making her better, even though she's still in the hospital. I don't know. Very strange with the whole Peaches start part of the storyline. Let's see a few more comments. Rodney Herring said, I enjoyed the show today. It was a great cliffhanger, even though we all knew Grayson was involved. The chief of staff is probably the Impaler. She's a very good actress, and Anita gave a fantastic performance today. Yeah, Anita's performance on Friday, Tamara Tooney, did a great job. And I did like that the show had a Friday cliffhanger for once. They should do more of that. But a lot of the soaps these days don't love to have cliffhangers except for General Hospital. And it's a real shame because it's a big part of making a soap opera exciting. So I hope in time Beyond the Gates decides to have more Friday cliffhangers, or just cliffhangers in general, but Friday cliffhangers especially. Alicia8857 said, looks like the Dollar Tree detective may be on his way to solving the case, but why is he still in the alley confabbing with Smitty, who stands out like a sore white thumb? Smitty should not be in that alley talking to Jacob. He really does stand out completely. And Alicia's also right that Jacob is a Dollar Tree detective because his glasses, I think I said in my review I thought it was shades, but when I saw the video again, it was just regular glasses. Like, that's not good undercover attire for someone going to a place where you know a ton of people. So he did get all of his stuff at Dollar Tree, I think. Sable7114 said, the speed at which the story of the Impaler is evolving is the way I would like all the storylines, particularly that with Hayley and Bill, to evolve. A year has just been too long. I think Jacob could have come up with a better disguise. 100% Jacob could have had a better disguise. And yeah, it would be nice if more stories on this show had a quicker pace. I still like the Hayley and Bill storyline, but I get the complaints that it's moving too slow. Because it is. It wouldn't stick out that way if the show had better storylines, though. Devin said, Grayson will be like, no, Ashley, I didn't mean to help the Impaler. I just, my mom's kind of sick, but don't ask me about it. As I said in the comments to Devin, Ashley's probably going to forgive Grayson for being a criminal, even though she couldn't forgive Derek for hiding the fact that he could walk again from her. And it's going to be another reason why I'm going to despise the Ashley character forever if that is what ends up happening. And you know it's going to happen. So that's going to be annoying when that happens. Let's see. One more comment. Winda1Mon87 said, Cecilia Specht, who plays Dr. Whitmore, Chief of Staff, was interviewed on Atlanta News First YouTube channel a few days ago. During the interview, she mentioned that she signed a 20-episode contract with Beyond the Gates and her character is mean, evil, and villainous. I think Grayson is involved and the Chief of Staff is the Impaler. I mean, yes, if she said that in an interview, then I do think she is our cop-out Impaler, which on one hand, I mean, it makes me think the storyline's going to go by faster, which is fine. But on the other hand, it is kind of a cop-out. It is kind of a disappointment. But, I guess this show does have a lot of villains, or it did, because right now I don't even know if Leslie's a villain. She's just a gnat going from person to person. So maybe we didn't need another big villain. Maybe the whole Carlton character who could have been the Impaler is just going to, like we talked about earlier, maybe just be very controlling of Nicole at some point. That's all for now. Hoping for a good week of Beyond the Gates this week. I also might start reviewing General Hospital because even though I'm going to be hate watching that show, I do appreciate that stories seem to be moving there right now. And they have cliffhangers. I know, what a concept.